Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a story that unfolded on a crisp autumn afternoon at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. This is the tale of James Carter, a 38-year-old man whose quiet determination turned a single moment of injustice into a movement that reshaped an entire industry. Buckle up, because this journey is about to take off. It's 2:15 p.m. on a bustling Tuesday, September 23, 2025. American Airlines Flight 672 to New York City is boarding at Gate 19. The terminal hums with the usual chaos, roller bags clattering, overhead announcements crackling, and passengers jostling for position. James Carter sits calmly in seat 1A, first class. He's dressed simply dark jeans, a navy polo shirt, and a well-worn canvas backpack rests at his feet. His phone is in hand, scrolling through emails, oblivious to the storm about to break. A flight attendant, Emily Harper, approaches. Her voice cuts through the cabin, sharp and authoritative. "Sir, you need to move to the back. This section is reserved for our premium passengers." Heads turn, phones emerge from pockets. A passenger in 2B, a young woman named A Travel Tales on X, starts live tweeting. Drama on Flight 672. Flight attendant just called out a guy in first class. This is going to be wild. James looks up. His expression calm but resolute. He holds up his boarding pass. Seat 1A, first class, paid in full. Emily's eyes narrow. She taps her tablet with a manicured finger. "That's a mistake. Let me see your ID." The cabin grows quieter. 12 passengers are now recording, their lenses trained on James. Travel Tales tweets again. He's got a boarding pass, but she's not buying it. American Airlines about to have a PR nightmare. Emily's colleague, Ryan Patel, steps over from the galley, issue he asks, loud enough for nearby rows to hear. "This gentleman is in the wrong seat," Emily says, her tone implying James is either clueless or deceitful. James remains seated, seatbelt fastened, backpack tucked neatly under the seat. "Ma'am, could you please check your system?" he says, his voice steady. Emily's fingers dance across her tablet. She frowns, taps again, then shakes her head. "Sir, our records show you booked an economy ticket. You need to move to coach, row 27. James shakes his head. That's incorrect. He pulls out his phone, displaying a digital boarding pass, first class, seat 1A, purchased 4 weeks ago with my American Airlines Elite card. A gray-haired man in 2A, wearing a pinstriped suit, leans forward. "Young man, just take your real seat, no need to make a scene." Emily nods, her lips pursed. Exactly. These mix-ups happen when people aren't used to booking premium seats. The condescension is thick, like humidity before a storm. James's jaw tightens, but his composure holds. He reaches into his backpack and pulls out a sleek, titanium American Airlines Elite status card for 20,000 miles flown with American Airlines. He says, "Elite status for 7 years straight." Emily barely glances at it. "Those cards can be bought online, sir. Gather your things and move to coach." Travel Tales is typing furiously. Black passenger being humiliated on American Airlines Flight 672. This is 2025, and it's still happening. Airline discrimination. The departure board above Gate 19 flashes red, Flight 672 to New York City. Boarding complete in 32 minutes. Captain Michael Thompson, a 55-year-old veteran pilot with a no-nonsense demeanor, steps out of the cockpit. His uniform is crisp, his silver hair impeccable. "What's the holdup?" he asks Emily, ignoring James, passenger in the wrong seat, refusing to move. She replies. Thompson glances at James' jeans, polo, sneakers, and makes a snap judgment. "Sir, you're delaying this flight." "Move to coach now." James meets his gaze. "Captain, I'm in my assigned seat. Here's my boarding pass, ID, and elite card." Thompson doesn't look at them. "Son, I've been flying 20 years. I know a scam when I see one. Emily, call security." The cabin buzzes with tension. A woman in 3C, Dr. Rachel Nguyen, starts recording. A businessman in 4B pauses his laptop, eyebrows raised. James pulls out his phone and begins filming. For the record, it's 2:22 p.m., Flight 672. "I'm being asked to leave my paid first-class seat despite valid documentation." Thompson's face hardens. "Put that phone away. You're being disruptive." James replies evenly. "I'm documenting discrimination." Emily is on her radio ground control. "We need security at gate 19. Non-compliant passenger." The man in 2A mutters, "Just go to coach." "Buddy, you're holding us up." But Dr. Nguyen speaks up. "Hold on. He showed you his boarding pass. Why aren't you checking it properly?" Emily snaps. "Ma'am, stay out of this." The businessman in 4B chimes in. "She's right. You didn't even scan his pass." Emily's face reddens. "Our system shows he's in economy. That's final." James makes a quick call, his voice low. "Hey, I'm delayed. Start the meeting without me. I'll handle this." Thompson overhears. "Handle what? Who are you calling?" James doesn't respond. He's typing notes on his phone, logging every word, every action. The Travel Tales follower count spikes by 400 as her live stream gains traction. This is unreal. They're treating him like a criminal. American Airlines Discrimination. 2 security officers arrive: Carla Rivera, a seasoned pro, and Jamal Evans, a newer recruit. "What's the situation?" Rivera asks. Thompson points at James. "Wrong seat, won't move, causing trouble." Rivera takes James's boarding pass, examines it, and compares it to his ID. "This says first class, seat 1A, she says to Thompson. Emily interjects. "It's obviously fake. He's trying to scam an upgrade." Rivera raises an eyebrow. "Ma'am, these passes come from your system. How could it be fake?" Emily stammers. "Well, some people know how to game the system." The phrase "some people" lands like a slap. Passengers gasp. Dr. Nguyen whispers to the businessman. "Did she just say that James meets Rivera's eyes?" A silent acknowledgement of the unspoken truth. "Sir," Rivera says to James, "can you step off the plane briefly so we can verify with the gate agent?" It's a respectful request. James nods, grabs his backpack, and steps into the jetway. His phone buzzes with a text board meeting rescheduled to conference room B. Urgent. Dr. Nguyen catches a glimpse and frowns. Board meeting for a coach passenger. The departure board now shows Flight 672 delayed 28 minutes. Gate supervisor Linda Brooks, a 15-year veteran who started as a ticket agent, strides up. She's known for diffusing tense situations. "What's going on?" she asks Rivera, who hands her James's documents. Linda studies them: boarding pass, ID, elite card. "Mr. Carter, these look valid, but given the crew's concerns about your behavior, we're reseating you in coach." James's voice is calm but firm. "What behavior? I was sitting quietly in my assigned seat." Linda's tone sharpens. "You're arguing with the crew. Take the coach seat, or you're off this flight." Travel Tales' live stream explodes. They're forcing him off the plane. He's got a first-class ticket, and they're treating him like dirt. American Airlines Discrimination. The crowd at Gate 19 grows. Passengers from other flights stop to watch. A teenage boy streams on TikTok. A woman posts to Instagram. James glances at his watch, a sleek, understated piece that costs more than Linda's monthly rent. "May I speak to your regional manager?" he asks. Linda laughs. "Sir, I'm the senior supervisor here. file a complaint online like everyone else. Dr. Nguyen steps off the plane. I was on that flight. This man did nothing wrong. He showed all his document. Why is he being targeted? Linda bristle. Ma'am, this is between us and Mr. Carter. The businessman from 4B joins her. I saw it too. The flight attendant never checked his pass properly. She just assumed he didn't belong. Linda feels control slipping. Phones are everywhere. She doubles down. Mr. Carter, coach, or you're out of the airport. James makes another call, this one lasting 30 seconds. Dr. Nguyen overhears snippets, board meeting, conference room B, urgent. She's puzzled. Who is this guy? James pulls a business card from his backpack and hands it to Linda. She reads it, and her face pales. James Carter, CEO, Carter Enterprises. Dr. Nguyen peeks over her shoulder and gasps. The businessman Googles Carter Enterprises. Holy cow, he mutters. They're worth $3.8 billion. A Travel Tales catches the moment. Wait, what? He's a CEO. American Airlines just messed with the wrong guy. Plot twist. Linda's hands tremble. Mr. Carter, this doesn't change anything. You were disruptive, but her voice wavers. James checks his watch. In about 2 minutes, you'll get a call from your headquarters. I suggest you answer it. Linda scoffs. What called James's expression is unreadable. The kind from your board of directors. The crowd swells to 40. Airport security struggles to manage the chaos. American Airlines Discrimination trends with 3,000 tweets. Thompson reappears, flustered. What's happening out here? Rivera briefs him quietly. CEO of Carter Enterprises, major player, billions in revenue. Thompson's eyes widen. The jeans and polo suddenly look like the attire of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. Linda's radio crackles. Supervisor Brooks. Contact headquarters now. Priority 1. James nods. Right on time. Dr. Nguyen leans toward the businessman. This is about to get epic. James opens his backpack and pulls out a folder. There's something else you should know, he says to Linda. The crowd leans in, sensing a turning point. James addresses the onlookers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the delay. I know you have places to be, but this moment is bigger than one flight. He opens the folder and holds up a document. 6 months ago, Carter Enterprises acquired a 27% stake in American Airlines. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Thompson stammers. That's impossible. I'd have heard about it. James looks at him. Captain Thompson, 20 years with American Airlines. Solid record, though your last performance review noted issues with passenger interactions. Thompson's face drains of color. You've seen my file. James nods. Carter Enterprises reviews all key personnel for our investments. Standard practice. Emily, hovering at the edge, realizes the gravity of her mistake. She discriminated against a man who owns a quarter of the airline. Dr. Nguyen lowers her phone. Mr. Carter, you're a major shareholder. James confirms, 27%. Making Carter Enterprises the largest single investor. He pulls out another document, American Airlines, 2024 revenue, $9.4 billion, Carter Enterprises investment, $2.5 billion, and Travel Tales' stream hits 5,000 viewers. He owns the airline. American Airlines is done for. Airline discrimination. James produces a thick folder labeled American Airlines Corporate Account Summary. Carter Enterprises books 1-200 flights annually with American Airlines. Our travels spend $1.8 million. Linda's voice cracks. Mr. Carter, I had no idea. That's the point, James says. Treatment shouldn't depend on who I am. It should be fair for everyone. He opens the folder, my personal account elite status. 7 years, for 20,000 miles, Last year, I flew 78 flights with American Airlines. Thompson stares at the documents, stunned. We didn't know, he says. James replies, you didn't check. You assumed based on my appearance and called security. Emily whispers, Mr. Carter, I'm so sorry. James consults a page. Ms. Harper, 9 years with American Airlines, 3 complaints in your file, 2 involving minority passengers. The accusation hangs heavy. Dr. Nguyen asks, what happens now? James checks his watch. In 60 seconds, Linda's getting a call from headquarters. An emergency board meeting is underway. Linda's phone rings. Caller ID Elizabeth Hayes, CEO. James nods. Take it. Speakerphone. Linda answers, hand shaking. Ms. Hayes. The CEO's voice is taut. Linda, is James Carter there? Yes, ma'am. Put him on. James steps forward. Elizabeth, it's James. The crowd presses closer. James, I'm in a board meeting. What's happening at Gate 19? Elizabeth? I was removed from my paid first-class seat on Flight 672 due to racial discrimination. It's being live-streamed. Your stock is down 1.7% in the last hour. Silence. Then, please tell me this is a joke. James shakes his head. It's not. Multiple passengers are recording. American Airlines Discrimination is trending. He shows his phone, displaying X feeds with thousands of posts. Elizabeth, are you familiar with Section 14.2 of our shareholder agreement? Another pause. The material breach clause? Correct. Discrimination triggers a governance review, Dr. Nguyen whispers. He's not just mad, he's rewriting the rules. Elizabeth's voice cracks. What do you need? James lists his demands. First, the flight crew must acknowledge they've caused a legal and PR crisis. Second, immediate action to show American Airlines values all passengers. Third, this isn't about me. It's about every passenger who faces discrimination without a platform to fight back. The crowd is silent, absorbing the moment. Elizabeth responds, you have full authority. James, whatever you need. James nods. Thank you. I'll have recommendations in 90 minutes. He ends the call and pulls out a final document. Last year, the Carter Foundation donated $750,000 anonymously to American Airlines for diversity training. Emily gasps. I've been trying to fix this airline's culture for years. James says, today showed me how much work remains. Travel Tales' stream hits 6,000 viewers. This man donated to help the airline, and they disrespected him. Unreal. James closes his backpack. Shall we fix this system? Linda's radio crackles again. Legal department. The real work begins. In Conference Room A at American Airlines Dallas headquarters, CEO Elizabeth Hayes sits with 9 board members, legal counsel, and senior VPs. A video wall shows AS Travel Tales livestream, a plummeting stock chart, and X analytics for American Airlines Discrimination. Patch Mr. Carter through, Elizabeth orders. James appears on the 80-inch screen, standing at Gate 19 with Linda beside him. The crowd of 50 passengers watches, phones still rolling. James, you have the floor, Elizabeth says. James positions himself so everyone can hear. This is no closed-door deal, it's public accountability. Thank you, Elizabeth. Let's establish the facts. He gestures to Emily. Ms. Harper, what did you say when you approached me? Emily's voice trembles. I said the section was for premium passengers and asked you to move. James nods. Despite my first-class boarding pass, and when I showed my elite card, I said it could be fake. Board member Laura Chen asks, Ms. Harper, why assume his documents were fraudulent? Emily falters. James steps in. She assumed because of my appearance. A black man in casual clothes didn't fit her idea of first class. Elizabeth winces. James, what are your demands? James connects his tablet to the hotspot and shares his screen. American Airlines, Q3 2025. 52 million passengers. Customer satisfaction 3.1 out of 5, industry average 3.9. Discrimination complaints filed with the DOT 182, 50% above average. Board members scribble notes. Elizabeth, your complaint system buries issues instead of resolving them. He pulls up another slide. Carter Enterprises Travel spend American Airlines $1.8 million. United $900 $1,000 Delta $700,000. We're reviewing all vendor relationships for alignment with our values. Board member David Patel asks, what resolves this? James looks at the crowd. First, terminate all personnel involved in this discrimination within 24 hours. Second, mandatory bias training for all customer-facing staff within 30 days. Third, an anonymous reporting system run by a third party. Fourth, a $1 million fund for diversity initiatives. Fifth, a public apology admitting systemic failures. Elizabeth hesitates. A public apology risks lawsuits. James counters. You're already exposed. 6,000 people are watching live. Your stock's down 2.4%. Legal counsel whispers to Elizabeth. She nods. All conditions accepted. The crowd cheers. How Travel Tales' chat erupts with emojis, but James isn't done. I want implementation in 72 hours. Terminations in 24 training materials in 48 reporting system in 72. VP of Operations. Sarah Miller protests. That's impossible. Unions. Legal reviews. James cuts in. Sarah, you reroute entire fleets in 8 hours during storms. You can do this. Elizabeth agrees. James, you'll have the timeline in 2 hours. James adds one more demand. Executive bonuses 25% tied to diversity metrics, starting with yours. Elizabeth. The room freezes. Elizabeth nods. Agreed. The crowd roars. Dr. Nguyen shakes her head in awe. James addresses the passengers. I'm sorry for the delay, but sometimes delays spark change. Linda steps forward. Mr. Carter, what now? James smiles. We rebuild a system where every passenger is treated with respect. Flight 672 finally boards, 62 minutes late. James takes seat 1A. Dr. Nguyen leans over. How did you stay so calm? James opens his laptop. Anger fades. Systemic change lasts. 70 hours later. James sits in his Manhattan office, reviewing American Airlines implementation reports. His assistant, Malik Johnson, organizes the files. Terminations done yesterday. Harper and Thompson, with cause. Brooks demoted to training. New bias training rolled out this morning. Anonymous reporting system live at 7 a.m. James nods. A news alert pings, American Airlines stock up 4.1% after discrimination reforms. Elizabeth Hayes' CNN interview, announcing the Respect in Flight initiative, has 1.2 million views. The reporting system logs its first complaint a passenger on Flight 419 in Miami, alleging bias by a ticket agent. A third-party firm is investigating. Elizabeth video calls James. First quarterly report, she says, sharing a dashboard. Complaints down 70% in 3 days. Customer satisfaction up. 15 employees reported bias incidents proactively. James smiles. That's the win. Elizabeth, employees speaking up. The training program is requested by 5 airlines. American Airlines licenses it through a nonprofit. Funding scholarships for minority aviation students. Carter Enterprises boosts its American Airlines travel spend by 20%. Elizabeth asks, how did you know what to do? James replies, I've faced bias before, but I've also run a company for 15 years. align morality with business, and change happens. The incident becomes a Yale Business School case study, real-time corporate accountability. 3 months later, the DOT announces American Airlines rules, mandating public discrimination reporting. 7 airlines adopt James's protocols preemptively. The Carter Foundation funds 52 discrimination lawsuits across transportation sectors. A year later, James flies Flight 672 again. The flight attendant, a Latina woman named Sophia, greets him warmly. "Mr. Carter, welcome aboard. The first-class cabin is diverse different races, styles, all treated equally. Sophia, you're doing it right," James says. That's the true victory, not headlines or stock prices, but a system where dignity is standard. 2 years later, James keynotes the National Equity and Travel Summit in Atlanta. The 1,000 attendees, activists, executives, regulators hang on his words. The live stream hits 200,000 viewers. Change doesn't need protests or lawsuits. James says it needs data, leverage, and systems. His slide shows airline discrimination complaints down 78% since 2025. This is what happens when you fix systems, not just people. Emily Harper, now a diversity trainer, attends. During Q&A, she stands, "Mr. Carter, I'm Emily Harper from Flight 672. I'm sorry, and thank you. You changed my life." The crowd applauds. James nods. "Emily, your growth is what this is about." He shows a photo of Maria Lopez, a young woman who faced similar discrimination but used James's tools to win a settlement. Funding training for 60,000 airline workers. James looks at the camera. "Your stories matter. Document injustice, share your truth. Together, we'll build a world where everyone travels with respect." The screen displays the Travel Equity Foundation's tools. Share this, subscribe, act. Let's make Flight 672 the last time discrimination flies unchecked. The applause lasts 4 minutes. Change is soaring.